Lights, camera, action. It's time to get into the business of show business in the dark.
I like it in the dark.
This summer has seen some big budget films released in the theater, and we've also seen a very surprise small budget film, actually, a couple of small budget films that were released this summer that were blockbuster hits. So we're going to get into how a Hollywood studio machine that produces $250 million budgeted films, and that's just to make the movie, and which half of that, if not more than half of that, is labor costs. Then they spend another $200 million to market these films. And each film has to make almost $1 billion to be successful. The two films I'm talking about are, ironically, Odyssey, which is directed by Christopher Nolan, and Toy Story 5, which was released a few weeks ago, which is making a lot of money at the box office. But regardless of the merit of these two films, they both have to make almost $1 billion to break even. Can the industry sustain $200 billion production budgets and $200 million marketing budgets, while a film like Obsession had a $750,000 production budget? Now, that's not necessarily going to be what it actually costs to make the film, because when you make a film like Obsession for $750,000, there's a lot of cast and crew that sign on to make the film with deferred payments. That means that they will not get their salaries until the film has made a profit. And that doesn't always happen. As a matter of fact, that rarely happens. A case like Obsession is a rarity, a fantastic rarity. Everybody that was part of making that film is now getting paid substantially for their work. That film has grossed over $400 million globally, and it had an initial $750,000 budget. But is that sustainable as the $200 million budget? From a historical standpoint, Obsession doesn't stand alone. Because if you look back, films like Star Wars, Jaws, and Alien all started with very small budgets. They became what they are through word of mouth. And the pop culture iconic legacy that those films have can never be bought with a studio budget. It's just not how it works. Those films are what they are through word of mouth, just like Obsession. Now, you cannot talk about production costs, studios, and how they do business without talking about AI. Artificial intelligence has brought an entirely new ball game to the ballpark. I did see a film that is currently in a film festival, and that film was entirely made with artificial intelligence. It had a cast and crew of one. So let that sink in for a minute. But this film, I didn't watch it completely. I really couldn't. It really felt odd. The humans in the film looked real, but they didn't feel real, if that makes any sense at all. It was almost like watching a very advanced animated film. But the film itself was what it is. I'm not sure if the technology will continue to advance as quickly as it has. But that was a little bit of an eye opener. The second part of this is an actor. There's an actor out there that's been artificially created by artificial intelligence that has a movie, and it's getting PR. It's all over the trades, and I'm not sure how I feel about the trades promoting this project, but nonetheless, it's part of the story, and they are journalists, so I will have to give them credit for that. And I guess I'm kind of promoting them as well, but I'm not mentioning the name of the actor, nor am I mentioning the projects. Now, let's be clear as well that studios are actively adopting AI into their daily operations, as are other industries. And it will be interesting to see how we as a society conform to these new rules of artificial intelligence and how they impact our daily lives. That will be something to see in the future. So the question is, can Hollywood studios continue as business as usual with these $200 million budgets? Or will labor be able to sustain $1 million budgets with crew having to defer their payments until a film or project becomes profitable? I'm not sure either or can happen directly, but I think they can meet somewhere in the middle. And it's imperative because artificial intelligence is here and it is going to provide a way for productions and studios to trim their budgets. It's just a fact, it's happening. So, what I want to happen is I don't want the product on film or on screen to suffer because of artificial intelligence. It is going to be up to the audience, to be honest, at what the future looks like in entertainment with artificial intelligence, without artificial intelligence, with the $200 million budget or with the $1 million budget. It really is the audience that drives Hollywood. So it's going to be interesting to see what the future brings, how the studios operate, because after all, it is called show business. So we'll see you at the movies in the dark.
In the dark.